Pizza and YouTubers, HoloFlame2 here. I am bringing you a Borderlands 2 video because I just cannot get it off my mind, as well as I am wanting you guys to vote on who I should play for, or play as, should I say. Um, Not only am I going to be holding a poll type vote thing, I'm also going to be telling you a bit about the characters, kind of in depth, I'd say. I'm guessing if you're like a big Borderlands fan, you'd probably already know pretty much a lot slash all there is to know about these characters. But I thought I'd just refresh your memory. Um, you're going to have to in the comments just like type in Axton, Salvador, Maya, Zero, Handsome Jack. Nah, just kidding. You can't play as Handsome Jack. No. Okay. Anyway, anyway, on to Borderlands 2 information. I'm going to be going through all the characters, Salvador, Maya, Axton, Zero, as well as just tell you a couple cool things about them and all that jazz. Anyway, let's start off with Maya. So pretty much Maya is just that badass chick. You remember that girl that you got bullied by in elementary school? Yeah, well, like Maya is her, but grown up. I mean, she's just 100% badass, and this is what Game Informer May 2012 edition has to say about her. But it just says, Maya, like Lilith from the first game, Maya is a Siren class character, but the phase walk ability has been replaced with something called phase lock. Now, I want to talk about phase lock. It looks so sweet. I'm sure you guys know what it does, but I'm gonna sum it up anyway. Pretty much, Maya's gonna take like all her supernatural abilities and suspend an enemy of her choosing in the air, just in like this big floaty bubble. And I mean, her teammates and stuff, she can shoot at them. And I mean, there's perks to upgrade it to where it does elemental damage while she's in it, or she can end it early and it'll cause an explosion. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Okay. But anyway, the exact description that it gives of her phase lock is, she'll suspend them into an orb of siren-y, phasey, magic-y cool stuff. It allows everybody to shoot that person because they can no longer fight back. At later levels, Maya can do even cooler things with phase lock. For example, if you put points into the Helios skill, each use of phase lock is joined by a damage-dealing explosion. Now, that's what I just told you about right there. If you'd rather focus on healing, you can gain the ability to use phase lock to resurrect allies from a distance. So, there's always that kind of healing perk that goes with the Siren, like we saw with Lilith, except that was healing while she was in phase walk. I'm talking about Borderlands 1 now, because there's no phase walking in Borderlands 2, but there is going to be Lilith in Borderlands 2. All our favorite friends are in Borderlands 2. On to Axton. This is the guy that I probably will be playing with the most, or not playing with, but I'd like to play with, because I made a Roland account on Borderlands. I mean, I barely ever played as Roland on the Borderlands 1, and I fell in love with him. The class mods are amazing. I love having large magazines, but the turret, oh my god. Oh my god, Becky, look at that turret. It is so awesome. Yeah, can't believe I just said that, but anyway, the turret in Axton's turret compared to Roland's turret is like 20 times more badass. Axton's turret is like super sexy. There are perks where you can deploy him to walls, and there's a perk where if you throw it out, it causes a huge explosion. Like, I think it's called like nuclear or something, but it makes a nuclear explosion when just deploying the turret. So I mean, you've got like a horde of crazy zombies, psychos. I don't even know what's going to be in Borderlands 2. I bet there's going to be a zombie DLC eventually, but I don't know. But anyway, I mean, you could just throw your turret down and just so, there's also a perk called Longbow, I want to believe, and you can teleport your turret to the place you are looking. But anyway, Axton in Game Informer 2012 May edition says, he may look like he has a lot in common with Roland, but Axton is actually a new class called Commando. There, though he also uses a turret, Axton's skills let him do crazy new stuff with it. You can spec into the longbow skill. Yes, it is called longbow. I was right. Haha. You can spec into the longbow skill, which lets your turret basically teleport to the place and appear there rather than having to throw it down manually, which is pretty dang sweet. Then a guy from wherever he came from, his mother's womb, says he's not just some soldier guy, but at the end of the day, he's kind of like every shooter character. I'm not like a big like mainstream shooter character type of guy, but just he looks sweet, and I'm guessing that Axton's going to have some type of class mods that do with the magazine size, because that was with the soldier, and I know he's a commando now, so it's probably going to be like assault rifle boosts and stuff, but anyway, on to Mr. Mysterious Zero. Now, Zero is I believe he's a robot, actually. I don't believe he's human. I believe it's like cyborg, I believe is the term. But, anyway, he expresses his emotions via holographs on his helmet. And I think, well, number one, that is just crazy badass. Second, he has the only melee weapon ever, like, sword type of melee weapon, not like a blade on the bottom of a gun. I'm talking like a melee weapon, as in like a freaking katana that he can just slice and dice people with. That just sounds crazy intense. His ability is to make a hologram of himself to distract enemies from the battle, and then he just sneaks around and just hacks and slashes and shoots, and I mean, it's just crazy. Dude's crazy. Anyway, Game Informer says Zero is easily standing out among the choices. Zero is a strange cyborg ninja who wields a sword. Enemies won't be dropping melee weapons, Butch clarifies. But Zero has a long-range capability as well. You can get a skill where if you hit somebody with your melee, it increases your gun damage, and vice versa. Then you can juggle between melee and guns until your shields go down, and all of a sudden, you're doing a shit load of damage. Zero also has a traditional stealth abilities, including the ability to create a clone, blah 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 blah. Anyway, I'm guessing Zero's perks, I mean, there's one of his perk trees are called Sniper. I know that. And so he's going to be one of those, like, people if you like to sit back and snipe him out and then go in for the sneaky kill with a knife. That's Zero's going to be your guy, because he's like that, you know? He's just cool. And, last but not least, definitely not least, being he's the biggest, the baddest, Salvador. Anyway, this guy's name is Salvador. He can wield 2 guns. That is never before even thought of in Borderlands. I mean, as just the thought of being able to wield 2 guns is crazy for Borderlands, and yet not they really, but Salvador can do it because he is just that big beefcake guy with the with the mohawk and beard and all that good jazz. Anyway, Salvador's perk is to dual wield any 2 guns in the game. I mean, you could have a pistol in your right hand and a giant rocket launcher in your left, or 2 rocket launchers, or machine guns, or assault rifles, or any combination, 2 bandit guns, so you can just fire and never stop. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So, the Game Informer doesn't say much about him in that one, but I'm sure I could find a different one if I looked, but I don't feel like it. But I have enough, like, intelligence to tell you about him, so here he goes. His perk, as I said, is to dual wield 2 weapons, and there is actually a healing perk tree for Salvador, which I actually was pretty surprised that, a character that would be more attackish, like, outgoing and more rush, would have a healing perk that seems more like a siren type thing. But you know what? Hey, it's probably gonna prove for a lot of fun in battle and stuff so that you can just keep firing and not die. Because not dying is always a good time. I hate it when I die. You know what? It's never the same after you die. You rage, you get angry. Grr! But anyway, um, there's perks like where, I know there's a perk for Salvador where if you are berserking, I'm not sure if while you're, I'm sorry about that. Also, the class is called Gunzerker. I forgot to tell you that. But anyway, there's a class, I'm not sure if you have to be gunzerking or not, but you can throw 2 grenades at once, which is pretty dang cool. And, I mean, I don't know. He just sounds like a super, super awesome baller. And one last thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and it's this little robotic chick named the Mechromancer. I know I can't start off the playthrough with her like this because it is a DLC that will come out eventually, and due to the fact that I have a pre-order, I will get it for free. But I thought I'd just tell you guys about it. I've just got this little bit right here that I'm going to read to you about the Mechromancer. Like the first game, Borderlands 2 features 4 playable classes. However, Gearbox announced that it plans to release a 5th character at an unspecified post-release date. The female Mechromancer character appears to be a human-robot hybrid and controls a large robot known as DE-74TP, or Death Trap. Now, I'm going to stop right there. That just sounds baller. The picture is like this big, hunky piece of metal. I mean, you can't see its legs in this picture. I don't know if it even has legs or if it just floats because it's that cool. But, I mean, it looks strong. And this little chick, she's just like small, and it looks like she's got a hammer belt, like a little hammer in her belt and a lunchbox. I mean, she looks so innocent, and then she's got this big machine following her. It's going to be crazy. Those who pre-order the game will receive the Mechromancer for free, and those who pick it up later will have to pay the price that's comparable to most DLC, according to the Gearbox CEO, Randy Pitchford, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know, the Mechromancer sounds pretty dang cool, and her special, or her ability is going to be able to, not sure if she'll be able to control it, but definitely have another character fighting with her, which I think will sound, or not sound, but it will be very cool. So, that is all the info I have on the characters. Well, not all of it. I could easily make an hour-long video of just talking about all these people and the vehicles and the guns and the maps and the more about the people. I could go on forever, but I'd rather not because this is already a 13-minute video, and I don't want to waste you guys' lives any longer. So, please comment on who I should play as. Axton, which I think looks the coolest, but I'm always been a viewer type of guy, so I'm gonna leave it up to the viewers, but Axton looks pretty dang cool if you ask me. So leave a comment saying I should play as Axton, Maya, Zero, or Salvador. Also, I'll be getting the Mechromancer DLC. So I'll probably make a quick little playthrough and just see how that turns out for her. She looks pretty cool in the picture, and I'll get a picture up on there. I'm doing this pre-recording. I don't have a picture for her yet, but I will now, or soon. I will soon. Anyway, leave a comment, like, rate, subscribe. I'll be putting up more Borderlands stuff in the week to come, as well as once September 18th comes out, I'm just going to be hitting up YouTube with so many Borderlands 2 videos. The world will probably end because they'll be like, wow, this guy has put up way too many videos in the past however long that it's been, because I'll be putting up so many. Anyway, on that, like, rate, comment, subscribe, tell me who I should play as. Peace out, YouTube.